Cracked screen I got on my phone. Bunch of stuff going on. Thanks everybody for hopping on and waiting for me here. Still sick, so we're gonna try to make this short and sweet. Thanks for the supers, guys. I appreciate the support. What's up, Grizzly Pat? What's going on, guys?
For nearly 50 years.
I'm trying to get everything to work here, and nothing's working. Jeff Sands, what's up, man? What's going on? So, I'm just trying to figure all this out here, trying to get this going. Things are hectic right now. Again, I'm sick, still sick. Trying to get over it, gotta get fishing. What's up, Brian? My screen's all cracked, so the only way to do it is I can flip the camera now, hon.
You usually can.
I can flip it now, but maybe that camera stands, I don't know, who cares? Craziness just trying to get live, guys. I'm sorry about that. But we're going to do a little bit of talking about walleye fishing, answer some questions, stuff like that. I know it, man. I'm hoping to, Brian. Things are chaotic right now for sure. I'm drinking lots of water, taking medicine, just trying to get over this. Hey Denise, what's going on? We're very blurry. I dropped my phone, screen cracked. So there's that. Gotta get a new phone for sure to keep these lives clear. I couldn't get on the computer, don't know why. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I'm gonna do a quick, make it kind of quick. We're gonna talk a little bit about fall walleye. That's what we're gonna cover. What's up, Sean? Talk a little bit about jigging, a little bit about whipping, handlining, whatever you guys want to know. But I'm just going to start off with doing a quick little fall whipping, little whipping edition seminar thing, we'll call it here. I don't know what you want to call it, but water temp has come down. Everybody keeps wondering, man, when they're going to bite? Last year I was getting it with this time. It don't matter. The water temperature is what matters. With the water temperature being, close to 70 degrees still, that's warm water. Come down there for a few days and some fish hit. But until that water temperature cools down, the fall walleye is not going to be hot and heavy. Some people are getting some fish jigging, some people are getting some fish whipping, and lots of people are getting fish handlining. But the people that are getting fish handlining, that are getting bigger fish, are getting them in the faster current up against the walls. So there's that too. And that's where your bait fish are going to set. Okay, so when it comes to fall walleye, wait for that water temperature, okay? And when I say we need 8 degrees drop, we do need 8 degrees to drop. People say, oh, 64 is the magic number. No, it's not. No, it's not. 64 might get a few hitting, but it ain't going to get them slamming, okay? It ain't going to push them. There's a lot of walleyes out in the lake, ready to come into the river. Lake water is warmer or cooler than the river water, so if that tells you something. A lot of walleyes still out in 120 feet in Lexington, Port Sanilac, out in 180 feet. Harbor Beach, 190 feet. You know why? Because there's thermoclines and there's bait fish in those thermoclines where the water temperature breaks and the walleyes are feeding on the bait fish that are there, and the water's there because the water's cooler, and it's simple as that. So until we have that temperature break, we're not going to have great walleye fishing. Yes, you can go catch a few walleyes. You can do that all year in Michigan, all year long. It can always happen. You can go jig walleyes all year long, okay? You can go whip walleyes all year long. You can handline walleyes all year long. You can fish a boardwalk all year long. You can catch walleyes from shore all year long. But the fire bite, as we call it, the fall fire bite, that water temperature has to come down to 8 degrees from now. 67's right around 59, 60 is you're going to get a good bite, and you're going to have good nights. So a couple hard north winds, a couple cool nights, and things will change. Things will change, and let's just go over the basics. What you do for spring, you're going to do for fall. There's a little bit of change in color. It depends, just like in the spring, though. It depends on the water clarity. It depends on the structure you're fishing around. It depends on the bait fish that are swimming. It depends on the moon phases. It depends on everything. Okay, is it cloudy? Is it not? Is it dirty water? Is it clean? It's all going to make a difference. So Same thing you use in the spring, you're going to use in the fall. We just got to wait for that water temperature to drop. Now, there's two things I do different in the fall than I do in the spring when it comes to whipping walleyes. I slow down my whip, and I still run 2 leads. A lot of guys run 3. I still run my 2 leads, but usually I run 2 6 or 7 foot leads. In the fall, I run 2 8 foot leads. So, and there's an F11 in the front and an F9 in the back. Simple as that. I don't change. I change colors rarely. If I get a fish biting on one color, that's the color I stick to until that color don't work no more. And of course, it's gonna be a John Latham custom. We all know this. So, yeah, there's John Latham right there. Sean can't catch no walleyes. So, Latham will use 3 leads. He will. He'll use 3 7 foot leads, 3 8 foot leads, 3 6 foot leads. You never know what Latham's gonna use. But he figures them out just like everybody does, right? Everybody goes out there and everybody figures them out. So that water temperature needs to come down. That's the only thing that's holding these walleyes back. Like I said, they're in deep water in the lake on a thermocline because there's bait fish on that thermocline. And what the bait fish are, we don't know because nobody's caught them. So we don't know what they are. They could be emerald shiners. They could be anything. They could be anything. We don't know what the bait fish are. Alexa, stop. Alexa won't stop, but everybody always says match the hatch, 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 match the hatch. And I have proven that time and time again that, yeah, you do got to match the hatch sometimes. But 99.9% of the time, a walleye is going to feed. And when the walleye is going to feed, he's going to feed on whatever's in front of him. And it could be a perch, it could be an emerald shiner, it could be a goby, it could be a small rock bass, it could be anything. Okay? Just remember that. You guys, we pick our colors, okay? We pick our colors for a reason, because they attract us. That's just how that goes. I will tell you this right now. There's nights that you can go out there and you can have purple descent stocker pile on, or a clown, and you could say, oh, I caught my fish, only took me 2.5 hours, and I'm out there with a frozen Barbie, and I've caught my fish, took me 14 minutes. So there is times and places where color, yeah, spot tails, that's right, John. You just never know. And you do kind of want to match what they're feeding on. So say there's a small hatch of baby perch and the walleyes are out feeding on those baby perch. What colors are you going to put on, right? You're not going to put on a green with purple polka dots. You're going to put on a green with a little bit of yellow in it, maybe. You know, you're going to try to match that. You're going to put on something that looks like a perch, right? If they're emerald shiners, you're going to want a little chrome. Little chrome's always nice anyways. But a lot of times I'll just reach in my box, put on a good old Latham, and I'll just start stroking walleyes. Everybody knows that. But the water temperature means everything right now, and the bait fish are not here. Barely any bait. The bait's out in the lake. It is. There's a lot of bait in the lake. I expect them to be emeralds and spot tails. Probably a lot of small perch too. But the bait fish are not here. People are going out, and like I said, there's people going out. DJs tackling went out. They got a good limit jigging. But, you know, Latham went out the other night. They caught 30-something fish in the mouth of the lake. They can only keep 4. Okay, so there's that. You know, Al goes out. He gets his big fish, but he's up close to the wall. He's in fast current. And the water temperature difference from the middle of the lake where everybody's handlining to where he's handlining is 9 degrees. 9 degrees difference. He's fishing 9-degree cooler water. And shallower water because it's fast current. But he's right along the wall. So that all makes a difference, okay? And there's bait fish in there. Why is the bait fish in there? Well, there's a little eddy there, and the bait fish love hanging out in those eddies, and the walleye stack up underneath them. Then when you go through there with your baits, you're typically going to get walleyes. Same thing with the plastics. Dump them on here, same thing with the plastics. Everybody goes nuts for all these wicked colors and weird colors and this, that, and the other, and it all comes down to one thing. Is it time for the fish to bite yet, okay? And I'm not talking about 13 and 14 and 15-inch walleye, because I don't give a crap about a 13, 14, or 15-inch walleye. I want 18, 19, 20-inch walleyes. That's what I want. You want your fall walleyes, you know, you want them to be nice. So it's coming, guys. It's coming fast. So just wait. Everybody's blowing my phone up, man. When's the walleyes going to take off? When's the walleyes going to take off? I don't know. When the water cools down. When the water cools down is when the walleyes are going to take off. Yes, please, everybody, hit that like button. I can't make the walleye speed up and start biting. Okay, if I could, I would. Believe me, I would hit the button and say, "Go, walleyes, go!" But I can't. It's when that water temperature drops, they're gonna start picking up. You guys got to remember, lots of weeds coming down the river. weeds are starting to die off. As the water gets colder, weeds are going to die off even more. And those same spots you fished in the spring, the structure is going to be back like it was early in the spring. Remember, as it got later in the year, the weeds got high, you had to move, you had to make changes. You're going to be able to fish those early spring spots the same as you would, you know, in the early spring this fall. Let those weeds die down. Them same bait fish are going to go to the same spots. Them same walleyes are going to feed in the same spots, feed in the same areas, and they're going to hit the same damn colors every time, depending on which way what the current's doing. Okay, what the moon is, what the watercolor is, and all of it. All of it. We talk about structure all the time, and that could be a thermocline in the water, a spile. It could be a break in the wall. It could be a branch. It could be a anything. Okay. They're going to hit based on that. Moon phases. Moon phases is huge. Everybody knows I use a lot of chromes, but there's when I fish with John, he knows a lot. I'll use a lot of non-chromes too. I'll look at the first thing I do is look at the sky, look where the moon's at, look at the color of the water. That's the first things I do, and that's how I pick my colors. Now, again, I'll run 2 7-foot leads in the fall, or 8-foot leads, sorry, and John will probably run 3 7s. So that's how that'll probably go. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that to take off just as well as you guys can. I'm ready for the fall walleye. Al's right there. He's been doing real good. I just told him how you're catching those fish, Al, up there in that cooler water and that faster current, man. You always do. You always have. And that's why you're good at what you do, because you know where that temperature break is, and where them bait fish and walleyes are stacked up feeding. You just get out there and you get on them real quick and you're done. That's how it goes. Now, when it comes to jigging, it's a little bit different. Okay, so jigging, in my opinion, I catch a lot of fish jigging, and I'm not here to brag or boost my ego or anything like that, but I catch a lot of fish jigging. Now, when you're jigging walleyes, okay, a lot of times 99% of guys jigging are jigging the bottom, okay? They're bouncing the 1 ounce jig off the bottom. Now, let me explain something to you. It don't matter if you're using a 1/2 ounce jig, a 3/4 ounce jig, a 1 ounce jig, hell, even a 3/8 ounce jig. It don't matter. As long as both people on the boat or however many people on the boat are all using the same jigs, you're going to be hitting the bottom at the same time as everybody else on the boat. Unless your jig head could be shaped a little different, it could take on the water a little bit different, but you're going to be jigging. Don't matter what size jig head you use. You do not need 1 ounce jig heads to jig walleyes. You can get them very well on 3/4 and 1/2 ounce and 5/8, 3/8. I've done it. Okay, but remember, don't always jig the bottom. Use that middle water column. If you're marking a lot of fish on your finder and they're halfway to the bottom, and you see bait fish and they're underneath those bait fish and you're jigging on the bottom, you're not going to have much luck. So act as if where them walleyes are setting 15 feet down and 30 feet of water, act as that's your bottom. Fish 15 feet deep. Fish where the walleyes are. Fish where they're feeding, right underneath those bait fish. Just pretend there's a bottom there. Just do your jig like you do and smash those fish. That's the biggest tip I can give you. I do it all the time on the boardwalk. There's a lot of times people around the boardwalk going, how the heck are you catching fish? Well, I'm not tapping bottom. I'm not getting the snags. I'm fishing halfway up the water column catching walleyes, okay? You're going to fish where the fish are. It's just like when you go out salmon fishing and you're trolling and you're in 150 foot of water and you've got a thermocline down at 60 foot and there's fish stacked all up top and bottom of it. You're going to fish where those fish are at. You're going to do the same thing with walleyes, whipping, jigging, hand lining. No matter what you're doing, you're going to fish where the walleyes are feeding. So, oh yeah, rabble rousers. Oh yeah, I love those rabble rousers. Yeah. Purple Descent, hot steel, speed motor up, touch, game on. Yep, you just get it just ahead of them. They're gonna feed, man. So I tell this to a lot of people when I'm casting, when I'm jigging, when I'm whipping, when I'm doing anything for any type of fish. I'm fishing where the fish are feeding. I'm not fishing where they're not. I mean, that would make no sense. So just remember that. Okay, you don't have to jig the bottom. Okay, you do not have to jig the bottom. If the bait fish are running up top and there's walleyes just underneath them, jig underneath them. Jig underneath the bait fish. Put your bait where the bait is. Put that bait where the walleyes want to eat it. Most fish on top lead. There you go. Hale's getting most of his fish on top lead. I know where he's fishing at, so there is a lot of bait fish stacked in that eddy back in there. And like I said, there's a 9-degree difference in temp. Yeah, 80% time top lead. Yep. And that temperature break makes a difference. Al's been doing hot in that what I call the probably best, okay, guaranteed best handlining spot in the whole Great Lakes, if you ask me, my personal opinion. And he's where a lot of people won't go because there's a shitload of snags, there's a ton of structure, there's a ton of problems you can have up in there, very fast current. And you can have problems very fast, but Al's been doing it his whole life. I used to do it in there with Roy Young, one of my dad's good buddies, and it is a spot you go and you just annihilate walleyes because they're in there. The water's always cold. It's always cold. I think it's like 61 in there right now, or 58, 59 probably right now. Last time I was in there it was 61. So I bet you it's probably 60, 59, 60. And then you get just outside and you're in 67, 68 degree water. That's not good. That's warm water. 64. So 64. So there's probably a 6 to 7 degree difference then. And that's all it takes. And we need that temperature break. Okay? We need that temperature break big time for the whipping to pick up and for the jigging to pick up. And I know people are going out and getting some fish. They are. They're going out and getting fish. But they're not getting them. Everybody's not going out getting fish. And I'm going to say the top 15%, okay? The top 15% of guys fishing that have fished all year are going to catch fish. My biggest catch ever is a 74 and a half inch sturgeon. That's my biggest fish ever. We'll talk sturgeon here in a minute. Sorry guys, still coughing. But you definitely want to be ready because all it's going to take is a couple good north blows, a couple cold nights, and maybe a cool rain, and we'll be there. Okay, it's coming fast. Okay, it's gonna be here, and we'll be out there fishing in our ice fishing gear in the boat, whipping walleyes, right, and jigging walleyes and putting up a bunch of numbers of walleyes. I want to do a lot of it this year, so we got deer season coming up. As for sturgeon fishing, it's on fire right now. It's not like the years prior though. When I say on fire, we're not getting 20 fish nights. Okay, I haven't had a 20 fish night all year. I've had good nights. I haven't had a 20 fish night yet. So, but fishing's good. Fishing's really good right now. We've been getting, everybody on the boat's been catching some fish, so that's good. That's always a plus. We've been getting some big fish, lots of big fish this year. So that's good. You put your boat up, I would have took yeah. It's after the sturgeon tournament, my boats are going up. We got a sturgeon tournament this weekend, Saturdays, most of you guys know. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. So, again, northwest wind and the 62 water will turn the walleye. Yeah, exactly, John. And that's going to be a almost 8 degree drop, and that's all we need. And people think that's a lot. Man, that's going to take a month. No, it won't. You're right, John. It's simple as that. It's that simple. A northwest wind, speed that lake current up, push that cool water into the river system, and it's going to cool the water right down. And it will, and it'll be that quick. It don't take that long. It really don't. When Mother Nature wants that water temperature to come down, it's going to come down, and the walleyes are going to go nuts. They are, because there is a ton of walleyes in the system. They're just not feeding. I mean, you got to think they're hot. They're literally hot. That water is warm. Last week it come down for 2 days. It come down 3 degrees, 4 degrees. Only for 2 days. And fishing was great for those 2 days. So, damn. A lot of people caught fish when it come down and then they're like, oh man, they're gone. No, they're not gone. They're still there. They're just warm. Okay, so it's time to stock up. Okay, it's time to stock up. Whatever Jay's has left, I'd go get it. Also, Jay's does have worm flats. I know they got one for me on hold there, and there's a couple more worm flats sitting there. Won't find them any cheaper any place in town. $65 a worm flat for you sturgeon anglers. For you guys pulling crawler harnesses, it's a good thing to do too. You put them in the refrigerator in that worm flat, and you got crawlers for a year. So I go through a flat a week though, at least for sturgeon. So you definitely gotta be ready, guys, because it's coming, and there's still some good colors left up there at Jay's. I'll tell you that right now. Are they picked through? Yeah, but a lot of people left a lot of good colors hanging on the shelf. John don't paint a bad color, and I know John doing an order. I ain't even gonna say nothing. John's painting some stuff up right now. I was talking to him last night. One of the best fall colors. Okay, he was painting last night, so I know he got a new air compressor and stuff like that. So I went over and helped him get it. So John's painting up one of the best fall colors there is. It's a good spring color too. It's a great color, period. And but yeah. So anybody asking questions, I'm running in the fall. I'm typically gonna run an 18 to a 24-inch lead to my drop to my sinker, and I'm gonna run two 8-foot leads off the freeway. Okay, I'm gonna piggyback, and I'm gonna run F11 in the front, F9 in the back, Latham on the bottom. That's all that matters, and that's how I'm gonna whip. How I'm going to triple threat. John's triple threat's a great all year color. It really works good in the fall though, along with this purple and chrome and there's just so many. The pink panties is a hot one in the fall and spring, as you guys know. They're always hot. You just got to know which colors to fish and when to fish them. So, hey Brent, what's going on? A lot of walleyes are going to be caught. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of walleyes. You're going to start picking a lot of walleyes up in 18, 19 foot of water. As soon as you see that water temperature hit, like John said, 61, 62 degrees, you're going to see a lot of walleyes in 18, 19 foot of water. Limits, 3-man limits, 4-man limits, arm people's on the boat real quick. As soon as it starts happening, give it 2 or 3 days of that temperature, and things will change. I promise you guys that. It's going to be good, guys. It's going to be good. So, a lot of good fishing coming up. There's a lot of good fishing coming up. The steelhead and the Atlantics and the cohos are up in the harbors. They're kind of lockjaw right now, but if you want to go mess around with them, you can go see a bunch of them. Me and Brian Persinger were up there during the youth hunt, seen a couple salmon, a couple steelhead. I took a few casts, caught a pike, but we were in the middle of the youth hunt, so we really didn't fish long. Some fish were jumping though, so Lexington Harbor is loaded with Atlantic right now. They're pretty tight-lipped. We're not going to talk too much on the salmon because this is the time of year the salmon really don't fire me up. It's more the walleyes and the sturgeon and getting ready for deer season this time of year, guys. And that's what's going on around here. Other than the sickness, I can't get out and do nothing. And I'm not exposing anybody to it, okay, until I know I'm not contagious right now, but just the lingering stuff, I don't want nobody to be around me with it, so. Oh, John's painting Ravel Rouse's TZL. Hey, Tony, what's going on, man? So, yeah, there's definitely some fishing coming up, guys. Again, as soon as that water temperature plummets, like John said, a north wind, a cold rain, those night temperatures will stay cool, okay? It'll change, and it can happen so fast. It can happen in 2 days and stay that way. So, I know you're antsy, just as antsy as I am, but don't sit home on the couch and don't go, okay? Just because of this, don't go. Get out there and go. You're not going to go unless you're not going to get them unless you try, right? So going out and getting 4 or 5 walleyes is better than going out and getting sitting at home getting none, or even going out there just bull crap with your friends and getting none is better than sitting at home getting nothing. Always. So yeah, I'm ready too, Dan. I'm ready too, man. Casting's going to pick up. You know that. As soon as the walleyes start hitting whipping again, you'll be able to catch them just as fast on shore again. Jigging, casting, you name it. Jigging's going to be fire. Mark my words, Jigging's going to be fire here in about 2 weeks. Jigging's going to be fire when that water temperature comes down. It's going to be really good. I expect a lot of big fish to be caught jigging. Me and John, it can happen tonight. Just follow out. Yeah, just go out and follow out and you can get your fish tonight. But me and John like to do a lot of nighttime jigging out of the boat. That's fun. We're going to do some of that. We're going to do some more handlining. But I just love whipping. So I can't wait for whipping to pick up. And then casting from the boat while we're whipping. That's always fun. So it's coming, guys. There's really, if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and ask. But I think I covered everything. Our seminars, our main seminars are going to always be held at Jay's. This was just something to do something quick for you guys, to give you guys a little bit of info. To let you guys know that the walleyes are not gone. They're here and they're going to bite. It's just we got to wait for that water temperature to come down. And kind of let you know that John Latham's working on some new things. I'm going to be working with John on some new things. Okay, some big things coming up. I'm not going to say nothing yet. But there's some great things to come. John's painting lures, guys. John's painting lures. They will be available sooner or later here. Get up to Jay's, get what's left, because as soon as the person goes out and gets a limit whipping, that person's going to fly back into Jay's and whip everything off the shelves. So while you can, go in and get what's left. And I'm sure John will be having another reload here soon. So October 4th, John Latham is busy. October 4th, John Latham is busy. What are you doing October 4th, Dan? John, you know Sean can't catch. Niece is waiting for you to take her. Yeah, Pat. No, we offered for you guys to go, and you guys did not make it happen. Me and John was waiting to take you guys, and you didn't want to go because you wanted to just be her. Which we'd rather send you guys home with enough fish, so it's best for you both to come. Oh, that's Ian's day. Oh, okay, I got you. What's good, Joe? What's good, JoJo? Just talking a little bit about fall walleye whipping and jigging and all that stuff, and a little bit about sturgeon, but not too much about sturgeon. Not giving away no information for the tournament. Kind of bit my tongue last night. Had some stuff go down that I'll never have go down again, and I ain't gonna get too much into detail about it. JoJo knows what I'm talking about, but you show somebody something one time, and that's all it takes. And next thing you know, you're me and Latham have talked about this many times too. Your spots are gone, and you can't say your spots because you don't own the river. But when you fish them consistently with nobody else, that's kind of what you want to keep. But I learned my lesson. But nothing, no information will be given before the tournament. That's for sure. Fishing with Ian, not Dan. And then John, I want to talk to you too here. As soon as I get better, I need to get down to John's house because now is the time, guys, to start hitting those canals, start hitting those inlets, and start hitting those cuts for those perch and those crappies and those bluegills that are pouring into there. Because people just think they happen to come in there when the ice is there. No, they're there 2 months beforehand, pre-spawning. Okay, and they do it again when the ice leaves. Okay, they do the same thing every year. So get in there, get fishing where you can, hit the canals you can, and I just I want to learn how to whip from shore. No problem, man. Send me a message on Facebook, Sean Sparr, and I'll tell you how to whip from shore, man. Whipping from shore is a fun way to catch some fish. My dad's done it his whole life, taught me how to do it. Me and Al Chartier that's on here, he's a big time whipper from shore too. We've had some phenomenal nights whipping from shore. Same thing you do out in the boat, but you're doing it from shore. A little bit longer of a lead on your drop. A little bit heavier of a sinker, but it depends on where you go as well. So, a lot of good information on that. You can catch a lot of walleyes whipping from shore, absolutely. So if you got any questions, just send me a message. Yeah, you don't even have to take the kayaks, Dan. A little info told me yesterday. 11 crappies and 7 huge bluegills and a couple jumbo perch fishing right in the ditches where we fish in the spring. So there's that. And the weeds are down. The weeds are down. They're still weeds, but they're down a lot from what they were a month ago. So it's time to hit those canals and start getting out and getting some panfish, get some stuff going, because they're not just there under the ice and when the ice leaves. They're there now too. They're coming in right now and figuring out what's going on. So, all right, yeah, no problem. If you're not holding bottom enough, up your weight and ounce every time. If you're just burning it back and you're not hitting bottom 2 or 3 times before you can let 3 feet out, then you got to go heavier on the weight for sure. It depends on where you're fishing at in the river. Most spots you can get away with 2-3 ounces, but some spots you need 4, 5, 6 ounces. So that's just how it goes along whipping on the wall. So that's about all I have for you guys for now. I'm going to get out here and watch the rest of the memorial for Charlie Kirk. And everybody have a good night. We'll see you guys. I'm sorry I didn't do a giveaway this week. Again, I'm sick. So we'll do a giveaway next week. Next Saturday we'll be doing a giveaway. So thanks everybody for the support. Everybody make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And get out there and get fishing, another couple weeks. And I think everybody's going to be happy. It might not even be that long. As soon as we get a cool off here, we'll be okay. So absolutely, Brian. So everybody have a good night, man. Thanks for watching.